Hello everyone and welcome to our playlist of version control using Git. In today's video, we are going to learn about a very important and interesting topic of Git named as branching. Here is the agenda of today's video. First of all, we are going to learn that what exactly a branch is. Then we'll be creating branches and then we'll work with those branches. So with this, let's get started with today's video. Let's understand the definition of branches. In the previous video, we saw that how to undo a particular commit and how to roll back to a previous version of our project. But this can be a little chaotic in a number of situations. So to avoid that, we use branches. You can consider branch as a pointer to a particular commit. As in the previous video, I told you that head is a pointer. Head points to a particular version of our project, and in the same way we can initialize different branches to point to different versions of our project. You can say that it is a way to keep developing a project and coding a new feature or modification to the software, and while doing that the main part of the project will be completely separated. We can keep the main part of our project separate, and then we can do modification in different parts of our project using branches. So you can say that branches basically create another line of development in our project. And here it is a very important point then that you should keep in mind that the primary or default branch in Git is the master branch. So as soon as you create a repository, a branch gets created, and that branch is nothing but the master branch, or you can say main branch, or it is also known as the default branch. So with this, I hope the definition is clear. And now let's understand the need of branches so that things will get more clear to you. Alright, suppose you are making a project and this is the progress that you have made in that project. Now your master branch is pointing at the latest commit that you have made. Okay. Now you are making this project for a particular company, and that is why you got some new ideas that should be added in this project. So you make two new commits for that idea to be there in your project, and then you send this project to the company in order for them to approve it. Now your master branch is pointing at the recent commit that you have made. You are waiting for the approval of that company, and meanwhile you got some new ideas. So what you have done, you again made two more commits here, and you included those ideas in your project too. So now again your master branch is pointing at the recent commit that you have made. But the company refuses the features that you added previously, and they say that they don't need these two commits here. Now in order to remove these two commits, you have to remove these two commits too. But the company was very impressed by these commits. So it is increasing your work because removal of all four commits will take place, and after that you will have to add these two features again. It is becoming chaotic, isn't it? That is exactly where branches help us. So now let's understand this exact same examples with the help of branches. You are working on a project and this is the progress that you have made, and now you get some new ideas that should be added in your project. So instead of directly adding those ideas, what you do here is that you create a new branch. In this way, your master branch will keep pointing to the previous version of your project only, but the new branch that you have created named feature 1, this branch will point at the most recent commit that you have. Alright, now you send this code to a company for them to approve it. Meanwhile, you get some new ideas and you want them to be there in your project. So you create another branch named feature 2, and you keep working on this branch, and now these two branches will be completely separated from each other. They won't be having any kind of contact. So the master branch keeps pointing at this initial version of the project, and you are working on two different branches now. Suppose the company says that it doesn't want these two commits to be there in the project. So now instead of removing these two commits first and then removing these two, you can simply remove these commits from here, and you can merge these two commits with the master branch. How do we do that? That we will see later. But now Our feature 1 will be pointing at this commit, and the master branch, after merging these two commits in it, will point at the most latest version of our project. In this way, you can see that branches indeed make our work easier, and that is why it is very essential to use branches in Git. Let's understand the working of let's understand the practical knowledge of branching now. So in order to work with branches, you first of all need to initialize a local repository. If you don't know how to do that, then please go and check our last video of this playlist and things will get more clear to you. So I'm going to initialize a new repository here. I'll be creating a folder named Git, and then I'll navigate inside this folder. I am going to convert this folder into a new Git repository, and for that we have a command named git init. So we can say that we have successfully initialized an empty Git repository now. So let's go and add some files in this repository. I'm going to add a simple text file here, and I'll be naming this as file1. So this is my master branch right now. As you can see this master written over here, this signifies that you are currently working on your master branch. So my master branch has this file named file1, but this file is currently not tracked by Git. So I have to add this file first, and for that we have a command called git add and then the file name. Now I am going to commit this. And yes, my file1.txt has been successfully added in my master branch. So now what I have to do is that I have to add another file in this repository, but I don't want my master branch to get mixed up with other files, and I don't want that file to be in my master branch. I just want to play around with another file. So for that, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create another branch. So what do we do to create another branch? We have a command named git branch and the branch name. So I'm going to name this as BR, and I have created this branch successfully. But since you again see master written over here, that means that you are still in your master branch. You have not been navigated to this BR branch. So in order to go to the BR branch, you have to write git checkout BR, which is the name of your branch. As it is written here that we have now switched to BR branch, and again inside these parentheses BR is written, so we can say that we are now working on BR branch. So this folder, although it looks similar to your master branch, but it is not your master branch, it is your BR branch. How do we know this? Let's understand. I'm going to add another file here, another text file, and I'm going to name this file as file2. Okay, so basically in my BR branch I now have two files. First one is file1, first two is file2, second file is file2. So now I'm going to add this file, and for that I have a command git add, file2.txt, and let's commit this. Right, so the second file has been added to our BR branch. Now I'm going to show you a very interesting thing. What I'm going to do here is that I'm currently working at my BR branch, but I want to go to my master branch now. So for that we have a command called git checkout again, and the name of our branch to which we want to go is master. So I'm going to write master here, and as soon as I press enter, you can say that file 2 has been vanished from here. Why? Because we haven't added file 2 in our master branch. We only added that in our BR branch. So that is why this branch now that you see in front of you is our master branch, and that is why it does not have our file 2. So in this way, by creating different branches, we can again create another branch here and we can add 3 files in that, and in this way we can keep doing that, and we can keep things separated very easily. So in this way, by creating different branches, you can keep your code very neat and clean, and you can keep things organized. And this is why branches are very essential for us. Alright, so that's it for today's video, guys. In the next video, we are going to learn about a subsequent topic of branches named as merging and merge conflicts. So if you liked this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more such amazing content. Thank you so much.